Good afternoon, Lilia. Thank you for taking part in the Business Spotlight series. I'm going to hand it over to you to introduce yourself and what you do.
Hi, Ed. Many thanks for having me. I'm Lilia Stoyanov, and I have a whole lot on my plate. Most people are asking me, how do I deal with all of it? But it's actually a pleasure. I don't feel it like work at all. I'm an angel investor and chief executive officer at Transformify, a global payroll and vendor management software provider based in the UK. I'm also an angel investor investing in predominantly fintech companies, but I have a few more in my portfolio which are not fintech. Then I'm also a professor at Ziggurat Business School in Barcelona, teaching financial transformation, fintech, fundraising, M&A. And that's in a nutshell.
Fantastic. So good to focus on your business at the moment and talk a bit about that.
Yeah, sure.
So how long have you been doing that for?
For almost 8 years, Transformify will be 8 years old on the 15th of May 2015. Speaking technically, that's when the company was registered.
Fantastic. Very like the accuracy. And tell me a bit more about what it does.
It's a global payroll on demand and vendor management system. Imagine that you are an event organizer and you're organizing big festivals, big conferences across the globe. There are thousands of people that are off payroll needed for every event. You need them to build the booths, then you need them to put them down, you need them to clean, you need them to provide catering, you need them to take care of all exhibitors, you name it. So usually those people are needed 3 months before the event and about 1 month after the event. And after that, they're not needed till the next year. And sometimes the next year, the event could be organized elsewhere in the world. That also happens often. That's why such big companies need a provider like Transformify to take care of the entire process. Onboarding, billing automation, payment details collection, e-signature, all documentation needed for compliance. We take care of it all so the company could easily contact those people. Imagine you have 10,000 of them, they're across many countries, and now you're organizing an event in Malta. You need to find out how many of them are in Malta, how many of them are available when you need them, how many of them are interested in participating this year. And this happens quickly because you can filter out your team, you can send them automatically messages with all details that are needed, you can onboard them to the event, and then you can take care of transferring payment to them, etc. We don't expect anyone to know how to issue tax compliant invoices. We don't expect people who are construction workers, janitors, and the like to be dealing with any admin stuff. It's not their job. It's all automated for them, and the companies have a peace of mind. And the very same is applicable to organizing payments to small vendors, aggregating all these payments. Again, the accounts payable team of big customers does not need to take care of that.
Fantastic. So it does a lot of things, takes care of a lot of headaches basically. And you mentioned there large companies. Is that your typical best customer, or who'd be the best person to use it?
Mid-sized and large companies, enterprises. Usually our customers have at least 250 people on board. That's the lower threshold, and it goes by the thousands.
Excellent. And also you mentioned there that you started in 2015 and there's a strong element there of remote work. So what was the impact of COVID on the business?
We started as a no remote company as of day one. And that helps us a lot, and it continues to help us because it is the flexibility to hire the right people regardless of their location. We don't spend a lot on fancy offices. We don't spend a lot on anything else most companies would spend on. It's not needed. We are all remote. And that's why COVID-19 actually had very positive impact on our business. We grew tremendously during COVID. Out of a sudden, everyone needed to shift to remote working. Everyone needed to find a way to organize it all. And that's what we were giving them. It was there, readily available. And nowadays, because everyone is already used to that, at least to hybrid working, they tend to hire elsewhere. And again, they need to stay in compliance. They need to find these people. And after that, to manage the relationship with them on an ongoing basis.
Yeah, so you were well positioned before it started to know how to take care of the remote world. And what are the plans for the next 5 years in terms of your aspirations for the business?
We're definitely looking at an exit. And if it wasn't for the recession, we would have done it by now. But now the valuations are low. It's not the right time to list the company. It's not the right time for M&A. And we're holding the horses for that reason. But definitely in the next 5 years, that's what we're looking at.
Okay, fantastic. And obviously you mentioned a few of the different challenges in the general market. What are the challenges in particular for your industry at the moment?
In our industry, it is the budgets that in many cases are getting cut, even though we work with enterprises, large companies, but you see that many of them are laying off people by the thousands, like Microsoft, for example, Google, many of them. And for that reason, obviously, they have fewer people. What's good for us is that the ratio between in-house and off-payroll workers is changing in our favor. Actually, the percentage of those that are off payroll or contract or temporary staff is increasing. But at the same time, the budgets overall are decreasing, and it's felt. Still, we are doing great. I can't complain at all. Not only we're profitable, our profit is growing year on year. But if it was a different situation on the market, I would definitely see it growing even more. And it's something not just our company, there are many companies that are facing it. This is the cutting of the budgets.
Oh, totally. It's a common situation, but good to hear that you're doing well throughout it overall. So again, look, angel investor as well as an experienced business owner, what's been your biggest learning as a business owner?
Flexibility. Imagine you have COVID. After COVID, you have a recession, and you have all your plans that need to be changed ongoing. Usually, you have a plan for at least 12 months as a business owner, as an angel investor, as a CEO, at least. Now we have quarterly plans, and they're changing on the go. We need to change the proportion of budget, how much we spend on marketing, how much we spend on referral programs, how much we spend on R&D, etc., etc. We need to address different demand. The demand is changing for our products because we have a portfolio of them, and you need to rearrange R&D work depending on the demand. It's quarterly. It's pressure. At the same time, it's really good for growth. It's better versus long-term goals and long-term planning.
Yeah, fantastic. It makes sense, and definitely we're big advocates of planning and action coach as well. So it's great to hear that level of detail and flexibility, and I think guess as well the monitoring side of it as well. So that's a good answer. And what is it that inspires you?
What inspires me is the potential to build something on the go that is cutting edge, that is something our customers love without even knowing it. For example, 3 months ago, I wouldn't be even planning for the release we had today. We did not plan order to cart simply because nobody was asking for it. It's like you have a credit card issued by Bank of America, for example, and you want to provide just the number of your card and receive payment instantly, directly into your card. Not first to your bank account, and after that, quite often you need to transfer money from a current account into a current account, etc. No, it arrives in your card and it is there in seconds, and you can start spending. And 3 months ago, none of our customers was asking for it. Then one customer said, we actually heard of it. There are very few payment providers that have it. Can you arrange for that? And we did it. So as of yesterday, it is live, and we can transfer such payments across the globe to any MasterCard Visa issued card. And it's inspiring. It's inspiring how your plans change based on what your customers want. But that's how you have a tremendously good product. And I love it. I love listening to what our customers want. Sometimes it's something doable. Sometimes it's something that it's rather a no-go because it's just one customer that asks for it. And it is the roadmap for a CEO, the roadmap for a business owner.
Excellent. That's great. It's great to hear it, and that way around market-led development as well as that creative side. And as a final thing, is there any news or any offer that you'd like to share with the audience?
For us, the news are definitely that as of yesterday, we can transfer OTC, order to card, to any Visa and MasterCard issued card across the globe. And on top of that, we have our new API that has been released, which allows thousands of transactions to be automated. It's especially for big enterprises. Imagine it's a translation company and they manage 20,000 editors, translators. We have a few of them, and they have their own systems in place. Instead of them creating files with the payments, etc., we simply plug into their system and we pull the information that's needed in seconds. So you get 20,000 people invoiced and paid in seconds.
Fantastic. Yeah, it sounds great. It's lots of really helpful time and money savers for large organizations. Perfect. Well, look, thank you very much for taking part. It's great to find out about the business and all the things that you're doing. And look forward to new developments that we don't know that we need yet.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I really enjoyed this interview, and our marketing team will share it with our audience. Wishing you all the best.